I'd like to welcome you to the first regular meeting of July of 2026 of the North Spencer County School Corporation. Our vision is to provide inviting and challenging learning opportunities for everyone. Superintendent Schmieders has 4 days prior to today provided each of the board members a packet of information and reference to the items on tonight's agenda. This packet is for our review and to have questions or concerns addressed. At this time, I would like to call this meeting to order with a moment of silence. The first item on tonight's agenda is roll call. Wayne Brickman.
Present.
David Waninger.
Present.
Jennifer Rich.
Present.
Chris Flohr. Jennifer Aldridge. She's absent. And Brittany Giles.
Present.
Next item is approval of minutes from our previous meeting.
Make a motion to approve. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is treasurer's report.
Included in your folder, I have the treasurer's report for the month of June. Preschool balances are in there. As we've talked before, those balances are doing really well. I'm pleased, much more pleased this year than I was last year at the same time. So that's good. I know principals have worked hard too, and the office staff to make sure folks are staying up to date on their payments. The fund report is also included. I'll be happy to answer any questions. That's in the fund report. I've said this before. If you look at Fund 300, you can see the tax draw. That check has been received, and Jerry's deposited that as she should, so you can see an uptick in that fund. Otherwise, be happy to answer any questions you have.
Make a motion to approve. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. The next item is account payable here.
Claims for this meeting, 109,537 to 109,634, totaling $1,036,319.39. It's a rather large amount for this meeting, more than what we're used to, but you have to keep in mind, we have insurance premiums due, property and liability, and also our workman's comp, so that was paid. Also, we've begun to pay for some of the work that's happening over here behind us on the Heritage Hills campus. That is a very large chunk of money. That does take up over half of the amount that I just said. There are two claims, 109,560 and 109,599. On 109,560, Mrs. Giles, you'll need to abstain. And on 109,599, Mr. Weiner, you will need to abstain. Be happy to answer any questions you have.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor? Opposed? Motion carried.
I'm sorry, Wayne, did you second? Jennifer has.
Jennifer, yeah, first.
I thought it was on the map. Next item on the agenda is personnel considerations. We have no leaves, but we have resignations.
We have 5 resignations. At Christie, instructional assistant Sarah Blubaum resigns her position. Also at Christie, special education teacher Jamie Keller resigns her position. And then the next 3 at Lincoln Trail, daytime custodian Denise Emmons resigns her position. And 2 instructional assistants, Amanda Birchler resigns her position at Lincoln Trail. And Kathy Gelhausen also resigns her position. I would like to recognize Kathy Gelhausen. She's worked at North Spencer as an instructional assistant for 27 years. We appreciate her commitment to our school corporation and to our students. Ask that you approve those, accept those resignations.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next thing, the appointments.
For appointments at Christie, instructional assistant, Mrs. Rickelman requests Rachel Rothheisen be assigned to that position. At David Turnham, behavior tech position, Mrs. Hendrickson recommends Edna Barco. At Lincoln Trail, cafeteria assistant, Mrs. Lindsay and Mr. Llewellyn recommend Shaylin Craig. Also at Lincoln Trail, instructional assistant, Mr. Llewellyn recommends Ashley Seaton. From the elementary administrative team for the position of school nurse, which covers all 4 of the elementary schools, the elementary admin team recommend Hannah Hoover. At Heritage Hills High School, assistant cross-country coach, Mr. Engelbrecht recommends Brian Oxley to that position. Also at the high school, assistant girls basketball coach, Mr. Engelbrecht recommends Abby Glazer to that position. Another high school coaching vacancy filled, assistant girls golf coach, Mr. Engelbrecht recommends Josh Winkler to that position. Lastly, linked in your spreadsheet are all the ECA positions for the 26-27 school year, and we bring those before you to basically have a renewal, renew the approval of them. If anyone is new, I will bring them to you, just similar to how I did the previous positions here, but otherwise, these positions in this document are all renewals of past approvals. So if there's questions on that, I'd be happy to answer, but otherwise recommend you approve those appointments.
I make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, you guys did it, but Mrs. Oxley and Mr. Workman abstaining on appointments, on the two of the appointments. I do want to let you know on another item, a transfer within the corporation. Stephanie Caswell has previously been an instructional assistant at the high school. She is now moving into the position of behavior tech. No board action is necessary. I just wanted to bring this to your attention.
Next item is people comments, and anyone is here this evening, so we go to old business.
Old business, we have a transfer from education operations. Recommend you approve that request.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Right, in your folder, I have a printed out sheet, projects update. Mrs. Burton helped put this together. There's also information from waste management about the roof projects. I will very quickly go over this. I've told you before, and it still rings true. This east side renovation at the high school is on schedule and going very well. We anticipate that will be done probably a little before schedule. So that is going well. The CTE building, of course, is having the new roof put on. That they're starting to gain some traction and some movement on that. And at this point, everything is kind of on schedule. Even though it seems like not much has been done, it is on schedule to be ready by the time school starts. That's the CTE building. Unfortunately, at the middle school, I would say that is probably false hope to think it's going to be done by the time school starts. They're having issues with delivery of the roofing material itself. There's very little they can do now without leaving the roof exposed until the new material comes, so we are in a wait and see situation right now. So I wish I could tell you other news, but at this point, that is the case. Goodorf Supply Goodorf Equipment was awarded the clothes dryer installation project several board meetings ago. They're actually going to be able to start that ahead of schedule, and there's a chance they might actually be done with it by the time school starts. That might be wishful thinking, but it is going to be much earlier, completed much earlier than anticipated. I was able to go to the Christie Town Council meeting 1 week ago, and I talked to the council members, and we had some good discussion on different options. I was able to describe kind of what we're thinking in terms of the access drive and how we were wanting buses to be on the west side. And then we did talk through the different scenarios involving traffic patterns. They had some really good questions. So we had meaningful discussion, and they asked for some time to be able to consider and think about. So that's kind of where that stands right now. Speaking of Christie Access Drive, I slid this underneath your folder. It's a standalone one-pager. So there are a couple action items I need tonight out of the project's update, and really we can do this within one motion. There's two things. So first of all, if we've kind of been moving down this path of doing the Christie Access Drive, as I think we should. The first step in that would be needed surveying in that area. That is one action item that I will need. Brosmer Engineering Surveying can do that work for $15,200. Here in a second, I will ask for your approval to move forward with that. Assuming we move forward with that, then the rest of what you see on this one page is really a rough draft. I would call it at this point, but it's always subject to change. But I would say this is pretty ballpark in terms of how we would move this project forward. So taking the fall, after tonight's meeting, taking July through September, and October to do the planning, the surveying of the property, and designing. And then the budget would come in there probably at some point in September or October. And November is whenever this would come back to the school board for your consideration to approve to move forward with the actual bid documents. So from there, that would be kind of our 4-month, 5-month timeline for this board to consider. So 2 items, moving forward with the Grossmore Engineering Survey that costs $15,200 and approval of the timeline that's been presented before. Any questions?
Would we consider what the town council of Christie, what their decision is, will that dictate whether or not we move forward with this project? Yeah. I think it's convenience but not necessary.
It's convenience but not necessary, correct. I've talked with, of course, talked with the town council, talked with the Stefano group, talked with all the players there. We can move this forward one way or the other.
The only holdup could be if the town decides not to go another possible one. So
I think even if things stayed as they are, I feel we could definitely make them work.
Okay.
I think since that was the early thought, the one way, and it would be helpful, I suppose, to move the buses on that side in the short time frame that the buses drop off and then pick up in the afternoon. It's probably less of a consideration than it was in car traffic. If there was a lot of car traffic over there, which would be the case because there's way more cars there than 5 or 6 school buses. I know the school buses are larger in size and I get that, but it's such a narrow, small time frame.
Quantity one. And this, the survey really to get the lay of the land.
Yeah, 100%.
So they know before they do any planning, they just have to.
And the one thing on that survey, so to your question about the one-way, so if on some of the designs you've seen, there's, when it comes, so if you think about the Christie loop, it comes up, goes by the school, loops around, comes back down, and it's gonna have to either go straight on College, or it's gonna turn right, and it's gonna go, I think that's County Road 900, which would take you to Main Street. They're gonna have to, the surveying is going to have, because they're going to have to help, that turn's gonna be tight if they turn right and head down Main Street. So the hope is, by surveying and seeing what they have there, that they can widen that and make it so it's easier for the buses to make a right-hand turn if that's the way they choose to go.
Last question, going back towards the middle school road. Have they been told, has the contractor been told when they move back what he expects them to have to do?
Yes, in 1 week. 1 week from the week of June, July 20th is when we're supposed to see action.
Is there a plan if it goes into school time?
There's a plan.
Okay.
There's a plan. I'm not sure that there are great options.
I'll make a motion to approve the roster of surveying to move forward with Christie.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is new business.
With our items for new business, one is the first reading of the yellow policy update. I have that policy overview linked. I'm hoping you like that. It gives a snippet of the policy. If you need any more information on the policy, I'd be happy to describe. Again, this is a first reading. So at the next board meeting, I'll come back to you and second reading, and I'll ask for your approval of new policy at the July 27th meeting. But for this meeting, are there any questions? Okay, no board action is needed. The next 3 items are all agreement for services for the 26-27 school year. Historically, North Spencer and LifeSpring have partnered through a grant. North Spencer pays $18,000 for a full-time social worker provided through LifeSpring. So I will ask for your approval to continue that agreement for services for the 26-27 school year.
So moved. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Next agreement for services is not, is similar but different. So this is a partnership with Deacon Specialty Physicians. Basically, what we receive are in-game and practice athletic training services. The cost to us is not a financial cost, but cost of basically helping promote their through advertising, through things that we do within game times where we recognize Dr. Brian Whittenberg and Deacon Specialty Physicians. Again, historically, we've done this probably, I think, 7 years. I was able to find maybe 8. So I'll ask for your approval to continue that moving forward.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Last item is an agreement for services for Harmon Consulting. This is basically an agreement where I work with Harmon Consulting to do all budget items. I will tell you this is extremely helpful for this new superintendent. It changes frequently. Watching every penny is important, and this is money well spent. Is $7,000 for a 1-year agreement for services. I ask that you approve this request. So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next item is request.
We have one field trip for you to consider. Would you approve that request?
Move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Special leave, we have none. Use of facilities?
Use of facilities, the Red Cross requests use of Patriot Hall in October for a blood drive. I recommend you approve that request.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Superintendent's report?
Superintendent's report, July is here. We have a lot starting up again this week, coming off a 2-week moratorium, and now we're starting to see folks around campus again. It's kind of nice to see again. July updates, school picking back up, band camp starts, summer summit. We've actually been tracking our summer summit. We have the most numbers we've ever had for a summer summit. We still have a couple weeks to go, so we're excited about that. We have bus driver meeting coming up. All these things mean only one thing. School is coming up. School is getting here. So I'm very excited about that. Also wanted to really to tell the public, the board and I have been working on core values for our school corporation. Prioritized values that are important to us, that are very integral for our success. I'll be bringing some things before the board for official approval, and then we'll do some promotion of these core values and refer to them often, I'm sure. Last thing, special education cooperative. So a few meetings ago I did, of course, talk about the special education cooperative situation. There's been some meetings with the local superintendents just talking about options. And as I told everyone, I will do my best to, as things start to shake out, we start to have a good plan for moving forward. I'll communicate that plan to the best of my ability, especially to those who are more into that situation, more into that world than others. So I'm very convinced that North Spencer will come up with something that is very good, that is better than what we were able to do previously for our students and for our families. So I look forward to that ongoing discussion and brainstorming with my team. That is all I have for superintendent's report.
Nothing else. I entertain a motion to go adjourn and go to executive session.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.